Yo, what's going on, my buddies? Totaljophes coming at you with my review of the Nioh Alpha Demo. Okay, so this is going to work a little bit differently from my normal reviews for games. My normal reviews revolve around three categories: story, graphics, and gameplay. But considering this is a demo, it's not a full game, it doesn't have pretty much any story, it doesn't have any character development or anything like that. It's pretty much all just about the gameplay and the graphics, that sort of thing. So this review is primarily just going to focus on those two things. So, here we go. Okay, so when it comes to the graphics, I've just got to say, right off the bat, the graphics are absolutely gorgeous. It is exactly what you would expect from a game that is on the PS4. I mean, it really utilizes everything. I mean, the setting is essentially, it's like a feudal Japan sort of setting, but it's also kind of crossed with, like, some demonic shit, too, which is pretty sick, in my opinion. You've got a lot of, the really, imperial-looking Japanese buildings. You've got a lot of, there's no technology or anything. It's all, shacks and wooden houses, shit like that. It's always dark. The setting, it's obviously at night in both places you get to go. You get to go to two stages. But, it is just a demo, so obviously you're not going to get to go to a bunch of different places. I'm a little bit sad that we didn't get to really see anything in daylight. I wanted to see how, the sun reflects off of everything. I wanted to see everything with more, shadows from the sun. But we did get a lot of good lighting and a lot of good shadowing effects from, torches and, campfire pits all over the place, things like that. Which, that all worked totally fine. So yeah, all in all, the graphics were absolutely great. When you're fighting, I will say that the things tend to get kind of iffy every once in a while, usually due to just the camera angle when you're fighting against a wall. But that, it doesn't take too much out of it. That's hardly a complaint, in my opinion. And yeah, it is very bloody. It is very bloody, which is awesome. I love, love, love that when you are fighting shit, when you are cutting people down, so much of you is covered in blood, and it is amazing. It's reminiscent of Bloodborne in that fashion, which is awesome. I mean, yeah, you cut shit, your sword's covered in blood. Wherever blood actually splatters on you, you're covered in it. It's not just like you cut something and you're just blood. No. Wherever it splatters, you actually have blood, which is awesome. That's pretty badass. I also really loved, it had fairly accurate dismemberments. You cut towards the head, you cut the head off, cut towards the arm, cut the arm off, that sort of thing. That was also really good. Loved that. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about the graphics. It is absolutely beautiful. So, final score for the graphics, 10 out of 10, hands down. There really wasn't anything that took out of it. Yeah, it got a little bit weird sometimes fighting against a wall, because then the camera angle gets kind of weird, but that is hardly a problem. Graphics, absolutely beautiful. Alright, so now we've got the gameplay. This fucking game is so fucking hard. If you've ever played Ninja Gaiden Black, it's that level of hard. Fuck Dark Souls. Fuck Demon Souls. Fuck Bloodborne. Fuck all of that shit. This game is fucking hard. Oh my god. There's only 2 stages. Each one, if say it was on an easier difficulty and you could actually kill people no problem, you could probably complete in 10-15 minutes tops. So the demo altogether for I don't know, maybe level 100 players or some shit, is a half hour. Took me 2 fucking days to beat. 2 fucking days! Because I just died over and over and over and over again. And in order to actually really manage to kick some ass, you've got to grind like fucking crazy. I mean, even then, that still doesn't save you because this game is difficult as hell. It really, really requires you to have skill. A lot of skill. Now, gameplay-wise, it does play a lot like, say, Dark Souls or Bloodborne, that sort of thing. where, it's kind of like one-on-one, you're kind of, pacing around, blocking and everything, and, you go into attack, and then you kind of retreat, because otherwise, if you get hit, you're going to get fucked in, like, 2 hits. But, it is all around really badass, because it also requires, like, a lot of attention to, their movements, and you have 3 different stances. You have a low stance, a mid stance, and a high stance for each of your weapons. So you have all 3 of those stances for a katana, all 3 of those stances for an axe or hammer, all 3 of those stances for a spear. Yeah, and each stance has its own skills. You see how in-depth this gets? Each stance has its own skills for each weapon. So you have skills for low stance katana, mid stance katana, and high stance katana. You have skills for low stance spear, mid stance spear, and high stance spear. It's really in-depth. It's actually really, really cool. Your stamina is called ki. Pretty much just functions like stamina, though, Running takes stamina, swinging takes stamina, blocking takes stamina, that sort of shit. One thing I will say, if you run out of stamina, you're stuck there for a couple seconds while you recover, just begging to die. So, stamina management, ki management, very, very, very crucial. Let's see, what else? Okay, on top of that, you also have ninjutsu. It's basically just crafting, honestly. I don't know why it's called ninjutsu. It's really not. It's basically, you can just make some shurikens to throw. You can make, like, these, like, papers that put fire onto your sword, or put, like, a wind element, or a water element, that sort of thing. I mean, I wouldn't exactly call it ninjutsu. It's not, like, any sort of really badass, like, magic and, like, fire explosions or anything like that. It's just basically crafting for, making stuff to make yourself stronger. It's not the most useful thing, but it has its uses here and there. I'm hoping that the main game utilizes that a bit more, because it felt a little underwhelming, honestly. I didn't really see the point. Hell, I didn't even know I could do that until... I think I didn't know I could do that until I actually got through the first stage. And I mean, that's not an easy accomplishment, by the way. First stage is... it's bullshit. But yeah, I didn't actually know that until then, so that kind of goes to show just how more or less useless it is. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not good at using it. Maybe other people can find better uses with it. But I personally felt it was kind of underwhelming, and I didn't have a lot of use for that. Then you've got, like, these spirit animals you can bring with you. It's kind of like, like Jack the Ripper mode. It's like... After a gauge fills, after you kill enough enemies, you activate this, and your spirit animal will then, like, form with your weapon, and it, like, say if you have the fire spirit animal, it makes this giant fiery sword, and it changes up your moveset to where you do all of these epic hack and slash moves, and massively increases your attacking strength. I don't think you can actually take damage while that's going on either. If you take damage, it just lowers, like, how long you can use this mode for, because it's not infinite. Once you activate it, you get it for a certain amount of time, and every time you get hit, it shortens that time as well, but it also decreases over time as well. So, yeah, all in all, though, that shit's really, really fun. I've played around with, the spirit animal form for all 4 of the spirit animals you get, which, yeah, you get 4 spirit animals to access. Each one, on top of that, when you equip it, also kind of gives you, like, bonuses to, how much experience you can get, which it's just like Bloodborne and Dark Souls, and you basically get souls, essentially. You kill shit, you get points, you go back to a shrine, you spend those points to level up. And the level up system is identical to those sorts of games. You level up, like, say, your strength stat, and it increases your level. And then you have enough points to level up your stamina stat, and increases your level. That sort of thing. But yeah, each of the spirit animals gives you, like, say, one of them decreases the amount of ki you use when you're fighting. One of them increases the amount of experience you gain, or Amrita, I guess it's called. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, I don't know. And then another one increases drop rates, so on and so forth. So they're all really useful for different sorts of things that you need in the game. You get an ass ton of weapons and armors from enemies, which is really good because the durability for all of the weapons and armors is absolute shit. I mean, no joke, I had a sword at full durability, I go and kill 3 yokai, 3 of these big hulky demon things, 3, and it's already to the point where it's low enough durability to where it's lowering the stats. Fucking terrible. I really hope they adjust that, because as much as it's awesome because you can keep picking up weapons, they're not always stronger than the sword you have. And your only option in the entire game for repairing the sword you have, or the spear, or whatever, is whetstones, an item that drops very, very, very rarely. At least for me it did. I've heard of other people that get higher drop rates and they actually have a regular stack on them at all times, but for me, I got a lot in the beginning, and then, like, as soon as I beat the first boss, I got, like, none for, like, the rest of the game. And it was fucking shitty, because I had to rely solely on the 2 whetstones I had left, and all of these weapons that kept dropping. So, yeah. I'm getting on to a little bit much here, but there is a lot the game has to offer, even if it is just a demo. I was so surprised. This felt like Episode du Sky of Final Fantasy 15, where it doesn't feel like a demo. It feels like a part of the game that was cut out, which, I mean, it probably is, honestly. With how much they had, that's probably exactly what it is. But yeah, it was a huge demo. 2 full stages. Don't let it fool you by just, you know, you have to beat 1 stage to get the DLC. There's actually 2 stages. You beat the first one, you get to the second one. So yeah, it is very big. The gameplay is extremely hard, but very fast-paced, very technical, requires a lot of skill, has a very steep learning curve. But it is so addicting. I rage quit so many times because of how hard it is, but every time I ended up going, oh, I want to play that game again so bad because it's just so addicting. So, there's some things it needs to improve on. I really hated just how low the durability was. That feature where you freeze after you run out of stamina, it's a little much, in my opinion, because you freeze and you're pretty much instantly dead. Like, things can kill you in 1 hit a lot in this game. So, that kind of sucked. On top of that, I noticed a lot of times when you're trying to dodge and you're next to a wall, you kind of get caught on the wall, and this killed me so many times. So there are a few things that it needs to fix, but it is just an alpha, so the fact that it's even this good for an alpha is phenomenal. I will say that the gameplay, as of right now, is about an 8.5 out of 10. But, honestly, after the revisions that they're inevitably going to make, because it is just an alpha, I wouldn't doubt if this shit gets a 10 out of 10. Then the only thing we need to hope for is a decent story, decent character development, and it's probably going to be good. Okay, so, final score, 18.5 out of 20, which means, yes, this game, demo, sorry, it's very difficult to actually separate them because the demo is so big, but it is near perfect. It's so fucking difficult, to the point where sometimes it takes the fun out of it, but you just keep on pushing through, and I promise you the game is so, so fun. It does take a lot of learning, but once you get it down, this game is absolutely fun. The action is fast-paced and so technical, but really awesome. The graphics are beautiful. We have no idea really about the story and the characters just yet, but I'm hoping that'll be awesome. But all in all, I was very, very impressed with the Nioh demo, and also very, very pissed off at it because how many times I died. But I am really, really looking forward to the whole game, guys, and I hope you guys are too. If you haven't tried the demo, get out there and play it now because it's only available for a few more days, and trust me, this is an experience you don't want to miss out on. So let me know what you guys think. Did you guys play the demo? Are you planning on it? Did you rage quit and just not go back to it? Let me know in the comment section down below. Leave a like on this video because, well, let's just say people need to know how great this demo is. And definitely subscribe because I will be uploading multiple videos every week as usual. So, that'd be about it. So until next time, stay pretty, my buddies.